Yes. All right, how's everybody doing?
Okay. It's not showing us being live.
We got some seats back here. We got some seats in the
I'm
back,
just
y'all.
about
We
to
got
stop.
some seats over here on this side. If anybody want to go ahead and grab a seat, you can grab a seat over here. We got some more seats up here up front. Go ahead and fill it in.
So I'm just saying, take the bass out of it. Do a sound check right quick.
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Is that better? Can you understand the words better? It has to be clear. He had too much bass in it. Testing 1, 2. Just want to make sure that everybody who is listening to my voice or any voice on the mic can understand the words clearly. Are you understanding words clearly? Does it sound clear now? It's a little muffled. It's muffled. So we don't. More high. Okay. So I'm taking all the bass out. I'm taking the echo out. Okay, so that's all treble right there. Is that better? This room?
It's really wide.
Okay, we good?
You would have to have, yeah.
All right, thank you very much, brother.
If you can you elevate it? Can you
No.
put it on a chair?
No, we don't. This is it right here. So we right in the midst of it right now. All right.
Well, does that plant have to be on that table?
No. Behind there? I'm not listening.
Okay. No, well, let's just leave because they might do a live
They're doing
bass
a
or
live.
something. Yeah.
I forgot about that, yeah.
How's everybody doing, y'all? Get my hand away from there. There you go. What's up? What's up? All right. Well, you know, we almost ready to get started. We almost ready to get started. And I know everybody's outraged, right?
Yeah!
Everybody's outraged, right?
Hell yeah!
These Negroes gotta go, right?
Hell yeah!
All right. I just want to see. I just want to check the temperature a little bit. You know, hey, how you doing there? All right, we got a legend in the house right here. Thank you very much for gracing this meeting, this community meeting, with your presence, sister. Thank you very much. All right, well, we were just waiting. We just waiting. We can grab a seat. If you can, grab a seat. If you haven't signed up, you can sign up at the table over there when you go get your food. But please make sure you sign up because we want to follow up. What's up, everybody? We want to follow up with some information. And this is a continuous thing, y'all. This is not just we're going to be here for one day and we're going to, complain. We're going to talk about the issue. But no, we got some planning to do. We got some execution to do. And matter of fact, we got some reparation warriors in the house, right? I don't want to jump the gun, but we got these reparation warriors in the house, right? So, we're gonna fight the good fight. That's for sure. Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2. All right, family. Welcome.
That's going to tear your screen.
Reparations power. See, we're gonna throw reparations power in there with black power. We're gonna mix it all in, y'all. So if y'all ain't had a good dose of black power, you're gonna get it now because we got that reparations power that we're gonna be pumping right now. We got Big Mike in the house. What's up, brother? All right. Nice you to be here.
All right, well, I'm going to use my voice then. How about that? Can y'all hear me? All right. All right, so we might have to use these mics up here.
All right, family. Welcome to the Center for Black Power. Most of us are here tonight to find out an update from what happened with the reparations deals last Saturday up in Sacramento. So we have a few of us who are up here who are here tonight.
Can y'all be quiet? Can y'all be quiet? Mike.
Before we get into that, we will also address one issue here in our village with Sika's daughter. Sika just recently transitioned. His family received a notice to get out of the village after they've been here for 30 years, so we're going to briefly go into that. But we're going to start by opening with libations with our sister Vernine Mitchell. Can we give a welcome to our sister Vernine?
Greetings, family. But before we begin, what we're going to do is take time with our breath because I know that all of us have traveled in, and I want you to take a moment before we do libations. I want you to use our breath to be able to calm our spirit. So I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. And to my voice, I would like for you to take a deep breath in. And at the top of that breath, hold it for a moment. And then slowly release. The next breath you will take in will be the breath of community. I want you to take a deep breath in. Hold it. And then slowly release. What we will be doing is calling on the names of those that have been stolen from us by state-sanctioned violence, those that have been warriors ahead of us and have fought a good fight for us to be here today. So I will have you call out the name. Please be clear in the name that you say, and then we as a group will repeat that and then say Ashe. So on the next breath that you take in, please have a name that you have brought to the top of your tongue. So take that breath in, hold it, and now release.
George Floyd.
George, one at a time. George Floyd.
George Floyd. Ashe.
Ashe. Fannie Lou Hamer.
Fannie Lou Hamer. Ashe.
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X. Ashe.
Tamir Rice.
Tamir Rice. Ashe.
Marcus Macapone.
Marcus Malcolm.
Marcus Malcolm Poe.
Marcus Macapone.
Malcolm Poe.
Ashe. Sky Young.
Sky Young.
Sky Young.
Marcus Messiah Garvey.
Frederick Douglass.
Fannie Lou Hamer.
Nat Turner. Martin Luther King Jr.
William Nesbitt, 14th Amendment. William Nesbitt.
William Nesbitt.
Malcolm X.
Tupac Shakur.
Nipsey
Nipsey
Hussle.
Hussle. Can you do me a favor and say one name at a time so I can hear that name and we can all repeat that name? Thank you. Addie Mae Terry Jurgen.
Darren Lester.
Darren Lesser.
Lester.
Darren Lester, Ashe.
Ashe.
Brian Gates.
Dr. Alice Key.
Huey P.
Alice
Newton.
King, Ashe.
Huey P. Newton.
Ashe.
George Jackson.
George Johnson, Ashe.
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, Ashe.
Bunchy Carter.
Bunji
Bunji
Carter.
Ashe.
I say.
Julia Cooper. Julia Cooper.
Julia Cooper.
Cooper, Ashe.
Marcus Garvey.
Ryan Twyman.
Ryan Twyman.
Ryan Twyman.
Jewel Ali.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant.
Trayvon
Trayvon Martin.
Ashe.
Keith Bursey.
Keith Bursey, Ashe.
Riddell Jones.
Rodell Jones, Ashe.
Clara Muhammad.
Lakeisha Wilson.
Waukesha Wilson.
Lakeisha Wilson, Ashe.
Carnell Snell.
Cornell Snell, Ashe.
Kenny Watkins.
Kenny Watkins, Ashe.
Keisha Michaels.
Keisha Michaels, Ashe.
Marquentin Sandlin.
Marquittin Sandlin, Ashe.
Jalen Walker. Jalen Walker.
Jalen Walker, Ashe.
Medgar Evans.
Medgar Evans, Ashe.
6-year-old Chance Crawford.
Chance Crawford.
Ashe.
Ayanna Stanley Jones.
Ayanna Stanley Jones, Ashe.
Jamal Simpson. And as you can see, this bottle is almost empty and we still have not even touched the number of people that we could have called out tonight. But something brought you here today. A person in your mind who inspires you to get involved and be involved with your community for it to be better. And on the count of 3, I would like for you to say that name in your heart. 1, 2, 3. Ashe.
So let's thank our sister Vermeen for getting us through libations. So again, I want to welcome everyone to the Center for Black Power. We do have a sign-in sheet. They just now came out, so if you missed it, when you did come in, please make sure you sign in because we want to make sure we have this type of turnout here for it. After we saw what happened last Saturday, we need everybody present. Every meeting we go to, every city council, wherever we at, we need everybody that's here tonight there. So next we're going to have our Baba Akili from Black Lives Matter Los Angeles come up and welcome us to the Center for Black Power.
Thank you
Thank you, Billy. And welcome to the Center for Black Power. Now, many of you, this may be your first time here. How many people is this your first time here? Which means you probably did not know that this was here. So now you know. But let me tell you how this came about. Let me tell you why we are here. And let me more importantly underscore for you who Black Lives Matter is. I'm the National Field Coordinator for Black Lives Matter Grassroots. Black Lives Matter Grassroots is? Thank you so much. And we have been functioning in this community for over 11 years. We got started across the street July 13th, 2013, after the verdict surrounding George Zimmerman, and he was found not guilty. People gathered in the park, they were outraged, and said we need to do something. And so we did. We shut down the freeway. We said that we are going to create a movement, not a moment. So here we are 10 years later, and this building that you are in is owned by Black Lives Matter. So within the last, really 9 years, because we've had this building now for over 2 years, the ironic and symmetry of this is that this building was owned, and there is a charter that it had, a covenant. And in that covenant, it said that this building should not be sold to Jews or colors or blacks.
Yes.
Now it is the Center for Black Power. We got an example of that charter and that covenant. And when we bought this building, we thought about framing it or burning it. But this building is owned by Black people for Black people. Black Lives Matter L.A. is about ending state-sanctioned violence in all its forms, socially, politically, and economically. We are Black-centered, demand-driven, and direct action focused. And so we welcome you here tonight. We are glad to co-sponsor this with our brother, Billy, who is also our security lead. But this is one of the major tenets, one of the major issues, one of the major focus of Black Lives Matter, the question of reparations. We talk about it, we emphasize it, we focus on it. Because we are owed that reparations. Whatever exists in this country, we built. Whatever exists in this country, we built. We the only people who could take some ugly Croc shoes and make them a thing. So that shows how our emphasis is. Once again, we want to welcome you to the Center for Black Power. We want to remind you that we have a tradition about calling people in as opposed to calling people out, and that we want to invite you to come back Sunday, the second Sunday of every month, this Sunday, for our organizing meeting. The Black Lives Meetings meets the second Sunday of every month. We meet here at 7 o'clock. You get a good meal. You'll get a grocery bag. But more importantly, you'll get a chance to participate in making and involving and creating Black Power. So thank you so much. That's this Sunday at 7 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Salute.
All right, so again, tonight we are here to look at what happened last Saturday up in Sacramento with the reparations, but also how are we going to collectively move forward. But like I said, before we get to that, we have another issue right here in the village. A lot of us consider, what we call this Africatown. And we consider Africatown one of the last, not just Los Angeles, but one of the last black hubs in L.A., in California, and even across the state. And we know right now we are heavily under attack with all of the development that is going on. This train came in, we lost a lot of businesses. Now we see from the 10 freeway down to Florence, if not further, there are a lot of developments going up, and we know very soon there will be other people moving over here different wants, different needs. So about a month ago, actually it was June, just after Juneteenth, we lost one of our long-standing merchants over here, our brother Sika. Is anybody here familiar with our brother Sika? Right. So on Juneteenth, Sika was actually honored by the city for the work he's done over here for over 30 years. The alley right in front of his shop is now known as the Sika Dwinfo Corridor. And about 3 weeks after his transition, the owners of his property, Art and Practice, gave his daughter a 30-day notice to get out. So Sika hadn't even been gone a month yet, and they're now putting his daughter out, and we responded just like y'all did. So before I go into some of what we're doing and what we need y'all to help us with, I'm going to invite our sister Kaya up so she could briefly share with us what has happened to this point. Come on, let's show Kaya some love, y'all.
Hey everyone, I'm Kaya. I'm one of the lead organizers of L.E.A.P alongside Milan, who is Sika's daughter. Our organization is really about activating young people, artists, and LA residents to help uplift and preserve Leimert Park as the epicenter of Black culture and community through digital storytelling, through art programming, and really just trying to share the history of this place and how we got to here and how this has become, the epicenter of Black culture and community in LA. And so Milan can't be here. She is working, she was able to get legal support, so she is working with her lawyers to try to enter into like a conversation with the folks who own Art and Practice. They've had some communication. She still hasn't been able to talk to them directly. That's really her primary goal at the moment. She does want to stay here. She does want to stay on this block on Degnan. Her career plan was to steward her father's legacy, and so she's committed to being here, committed to keeping the store open. So she's really just trying to work with her legal team at the moment to try to negotiate with them. They've gotten some communication. She hasn't been able to speak to them directly. There isn't really too much that we can share just because we want to prioritize like her rights and make sure that we're not putting her in a position where, she will be forced to vacate, but we're working on things. If you want to stay tuned with us, please visit our website at welovelemert.la. We have a newsletter that we're going to be sending out, and then Milan is also working on putting together a website with an official statement around how people can support her. So she's going to essentially just be able to tell her story and really put out the information and calls to action that best fit her and will allow her to continue to steward her father's legacy and make sure that this cultural institution stays with us. So it probably sounds like I said a whole bunch of not very much, but please just keep in touch with us. Follow L.E.A.P on Instagram, and we are going to send out a newsletter, so sign up for our newsletter, and we're just going to communicate with you all as we can, given just her situation and the restrictions that she's under. But she's very committed to, keeping the store open. She wants to be here. She doesn't want to leave, and so she is feeling really, really grateful for all of the support and outpouring of love that she's gotten from the community. So yeah, tap in with us online, and please go support the store. They're open Thursday through Sunday, so please continue to show them love, continue to patronize the store, and go talk to her. She and her mom are there on those days, and yeah, they would just be happy to see more love and support from the community. So that's all I got for you all. Thank you so much. Here you go, William.
All right, thank you, Carl. So, when we heard this and that they are not even attempting to talk to her after her dad held that establishment down for over 30 years, we did not agree with that, and we decided independently we are not working for Milan, we are not working for We Love Leimert, but we Africatown began a social media campaign, and they instantly began blocking people, shutting off comments. Then we found some of their partners are places like the Hammer Museum, the Getty Museum, the California African American Museum. So we went to Westwood to the Hammer Museum, spoke to some people. They claim they're no longer working with Art and Practice. And then about a week and a half ago, so let me pause right there and just share real quick. So Art and Practice and their founding members, Mark Bradford, Eileen, Eileen Norton, and Alan Castro also are buying properties over here. So, does anyone know where Queen Amina's shop is at? So Queen Amina's shop, all the way up here to 43rd place, all the way to the ice cream shop. That's Art and Practice and their partners. From Seeker's shop, all the way up to 43rd place to the Vision Theater. Not the Vision Theater, but all the property leading to the Vision Theater, that's Art and Practice and their partners. And then on Leimert, on the other side of Ben Caldwell property, they have, I believe, 2 properties over there. So basically, they right now have about 2/3 of the properties in the village. And the threat is, if they are now putting Milan out right after her dad transitioned after 30 years without conversation, we are very concerned with what they plan on doing over here. Because again, we know if they bring in certain types of businesses, they'll look to shut down the vending, the culture, and everything else we got going. So what we did about a week and a half ago, they have a development, and we went and shut the development down. And after all these weeks of no conversation, we got a phone call real quick. And they wanted to meet. They were claiming they were best friends with Milan, and they didn't know what we was talking about. So we went a few days. We were setting up a meeting. They finally backed out of that. So we're going to have to strike again. So we will need more support. Right now, we got between 4 to 8 people helping us. But again, it would be lovely if we could get half of this crowd out there. We saw the brother came and joined us. We would love to get at least half of this crowd to let Art and Practice know, no, this is our community. We would like to know what y'all got planned and how we can collectively move forward.
That's right. One thing that I do want to say is that, you know, Mark Bradford and company is on the same level as these 10 Negroes that decided to deny black folks their reparations, okay? So I just want y'all to know that this is not a touchy-feely type of thing. Coach, who had that ice cream today? Y'all had that ice cream, what's that? All Chill? Anybody enjoy that All Chill? Well, they done bought that building, right? They done bought that building right there. It's called the Martin Building. They done bought the Martin Building. They're already talking about evicting people from that building. Okay, so we've talked to some of the people who own businesses in that building right there, and yes, they do have plans to take that building as well. So I just want to make sure that people understood that Mark Bradford and company is in the same category as these 10 sellouts up there from the California Legislative Black Caucus that we're here to talk about tonight. Thank you very much.
All right, so now we would like to open up some time for any representatives from Art Practice. Would you like to come forward and speak? Any? Oh, we got a community member want to say something? This is our brother Bud. Does a lot of work around here, keep the community safe.
This is my 4th time seeing the same guy put eviction notices on different places.
Appreciate it. Big time. So now while we get to this next part, can we have the representatives from each organization to come on up? Because we're about to get into our discussion on what took place. And we know a lot of us have different positions when it comes to reparations. And tonight, we're not here to argue with each other about that. Tonight, we are here to find out what exactly happened last Saturday, the facts of what happened last Saturday, but to also see how we can collectively respond to this and move forward. And one other thing you might have noticed is someone else is talking while the person up here is talking. It's kind of hard to hear. So if you have any conversation you need to have, please step outside and respect the fact of the person who's talking, and that everybody else came here to find out the information up here. So then we got a couple more people. We got Nasda, we got L.E.A.P, we got CJ. Who else are we waiting on? Oh, BLM, L.A., Jan. Anyone else from an organization that went up to Sacramento with us here?
Well, we need to come up. We need to come up.
Hey, new Black Panther Party.
Hi everyone, while we get the video set up, so we're going to start a panel discussion with the organization affiliates who have been organizing for reparations and went to the Capitol. My name is Camila Moore and I was the chairperson of the California Reparations Task Force. So I'm here in support of the community and with the organizations. I was there on Saturday too. I'm very disappointed with the California Legislative Black Caucus. I think their actions were very unconscionable. Marcus Champion from L.E.A.P and CJ created a really great video that I hope that we can share right here on this projector that really shows you all their actions. At the end of the day, Senator Stephen Bradford, who I served on the California Reparations Task Force with, he's terming out this year. He served 14 years in the state legislature. He cried. He's running for lieutenant governor as well. He cried the last hearing of our task force. He said this was the most transformative political experience in his career. Right after the task force ended, he introduced two bills, two transformative reparations bills. A bill that would create a new state agency just for African Americans, just for descendant American slaves, so we can get education grants, business grants, all different types of grants, for it to be like a watchdog, so that our rights and privileges and immunities would no longer be a bridge, watching over other departments and other institutions to make sure that we were okay in the state. He also introduced SB 1331, which would create a new fund, a new account in the state treasury for descendants of American slaves to fund these reparations programs and policies. These two proposals, these two bills were transformative. We haven't seen that type of legislation for Black Americans since Reconstruction, since the Freedmen's Bureau, and since the Freedmen's Bank, which was torn down by white racists, right, after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. And so what this video shows you is organizers, pleaded with the California Legislative Black Caucus to do the right thing, to introduce these two bills on the assembly floor, which would have been actually the last step. If they actually did this, introduced the bills on the assembly floor and had it for a vote, that would have been the last step before it would have been on Governor Newsom's desk. And he would have had until September 1st to September 30th to either sign or veto it. So these organizers are going to go into much more detail, but I just wanted to give you all that overview of the two bills. If you all have any questions about the actual reparations, the other reparations bills that the Black Caucus passed, we can have a conversation about that, but we want to focus on Bradford's bills for right now. Any questions before we get into the video? Yes.
Bluetooth mode.
The federal class action
before. I've been doing advocacy around reparations. I'm just wondering why we haven't pushed a class action lawsuit right now. It's been 400 plus years.
She's asking for a class action lawsuit.
Yeah, I'll just add to that question because I was just waiting for the video to pull up. But yeah, we'll talk on the side. I think it's just a question or answer of strategy. I think people have been trying to push for reparations through the legislative branch and not necessarily through litigation anymore. We saw folks trying to fight for reparations through litigation in the 90s and the 2000s. So now we kind of transitioned because, courts kind of started to take us down or the court started to say, oh, there's different procedural arguments like statute of limitations, So reparations got creative and said, well, let's just go to our legislature to get the reparations bills that we want done. But I agree with you that we need to explore all different types of avenues. So let's just connect later on that. Thanks, everyone. We'll take questions at the end, and also if you see these post-its along the walls at the end before you leave, we do want you to leave ready to work. Yes, we're leaving ready to work, not just here to absorb information.
Get off the sideline.
Those post-its on the back wall are all the different 12 categories of harm that the California Reparations Task Force studied. And so before you leave, if you leave before the evening is over, look at all the different categories of harm and put your name and contact information so we can make sure to follow up with you. This room is almost 150, 200 people. I don't want to see those playing. Okay? They need to be full and y'all need to be asking for some more paper.
That's right.
Before y'all leave, we'll take questions at the end. Thank you, sis.
We need y'all. We need y'all. Get up off the sideline. Get in the game.
If we're going to do any interviews, let's step outside and do them because, again, any excess conversation makes it harder for everybody to hear.
You all was a captain. Who do we want? Reparations. Who do we want? Now.
How do you make the sound? Well, it should come from the HDMI. It should all come through. Can you tell is the volume on? Oh, it's HDMI. It's going to come through together. It's HDMI. It does built-in sound. Yeah. Can somebody just put the mic next to the speaker? Okay, go for it. Yeah, I don't even know where it's coming from. Where the sound comes from. It's not this. I guess not. No? Let's see.
Okay, they getting that together.
So we're going to...
Turn it all the way up.
Woo! Man, I tell you, y'all. We got 10 members of the California Legislative Black Caucus that betrayed the black family. How many other ways can we say it? 10 members of the California Legislative Black Caucus betrayed the black family. All right, here we go. I'm going to keep repeating that.
Okay, well, how, you have a pass only event, but they're not handing out passes to get in. Or they're only handing out passes to certain people.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. I'm here to present SB 1403.
What we are witnessing in the state of California is the very essence of political cowardliness,
which will establish the framework, the foundation for reparations here in the state of California. Which will establish the framework, the foundation for reparations here in the state of California.
Senator Bradford, I'm so proud of you and proud of this bill. This is the beginning of a long journey that we will take over the next 10, I feel like about 10 years. But this is the ground. This is where we need to get started. And I thank you so much for your vision and your hard work on reparations. Thank you.
Judy.
Senator Bryan, would you like to add any comments?
I would actually. Thank you, Senator Bradford, for bringing this measure forward. I think, as has been stated, you and Assemblymember Jones Sawyer and Black folks all across California engaged in a multi-year listening and building process that resulted in one of the most profound documents that's ever been produced by the Department of Justice in the state. And in that came a number of recommendations that have a fierce implementation hurdle, and that implementation can't happen without some sort of overseeing agency that helps facilitate it. And so I want to thank you for bringing this forward. I want to thank you for forcing us to contemplate the creation of this agency as early as last year. I want to thank you for your urgency, not just in this year, but throughout your tenure in the legislature. A proud member of the Black Caucus today, and I imagine there's a motion on the table. I'd like to second, third, or fourth.
So this is Assemblyman Mr. Bryan. He's mad I brought up the reparations vote. So he's preventing me from speaking, and he's trying to block my access to it. Why are you so upset?
You vote for 3 strikes, you put Black folks in prisons, but now you want to be a reparations. What you won't vote for the bill? I supported the bill all session.
Put the bill on
Will you vote for the bill, Mr. Senator? Will you vote for the bill?
Bring it up.
Will you vote for reparations?
Bring it up.
No.
Bring it up.
Let's vote for reparations
Bring it
together.
up.
Put it on the table.
You in, Bill?
Bring it up. Bring it up.
Put it on the floor. Turn the light on so he can't read.
All right, we get the lights back up.
What?
So, right now, again, loved ones, we all upset, but this beat to turn into something else, and we need to start doing this. So let's let everybody speak so we can hear what happened, get the information, and then we can figure out what we're gonna do. So, right now we were about to introduce the different organizations that were there and that want to present tonight. But actually, we do have one member of the California Legislative Black Caucus that has shown up. And as I was saying about 10 minutes ago, that was the period for them to speak. So we're going to go ahead now and allow Assemblyman Isaac Bryan to come speak.
Fuck you!
No, you gonna have to go. Y'all gonna have to put him out.
Fuck you!
Put him
No,
out.
I'm going outside. Fuck that tray. Fuck that tray.
We welcome you.
Bitch ass. Come outside.
We welcome you.
Bitch ass. Fuck you.
We
we welcome you to the Center for Black Power.
Everybody, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back.
Please, we welcome you. We sponsored this event, and we talked about, we call people in before we call them out. And so we're going to...
One mic,
one mic, please.
Everybody, one mic, come on.
Order, y'all. All right, we some grown-ass black people up in here. So let's get some order, please. We need some order, please. Order, please. Can we turn that down, please? Turn it down, please. Please, turn it down. Thank you.
If you got to say something, please go outside, but we are trying to hear.
Yeah.
If you need to say something, please step outside. Because now you are disrupting the meeting. And then people drove from all around to hear this tonight. So
That's
again,
right.
we're going to respect the fact that all of us are here, but we want to find out what we're doing next. So again, the brother chose to come show up, face the community, so let's hear what he got to say.
That's right.
A lot of y'all know me a long time. I showed up by myself.
Quiet! He's speaking. I want to hear what he has to say.
Thank you.
I showed up by myself because I don't hide from my folks. This is our community. So when I saw this was happening, even though I got married like yesterday, I told my new wife I have to be there. And we rolling solo. It's been a hard year in the Capitol, and I know you all feel that. I had no problem with any of these bills. The problem was raised a few days before in the caucus. There's been fractures between community and the caucus. And some of us have tried to bridge those. Chris has done a fantastic job, by the way. I haven't seen somebody in Sacramento that frequently, that often, with multiple organizations who still pushing the consistent message. We'll be there with ARC, but still pushing the message. And every time I see Chris or anybody else, I make space and I make time. For me, what happened at the end of the session, the first thing I want to say, and the article is going to come out tomorrow, like I said, I got married. I didn't stop this racist motherfucker on the floor. That's not how you move motions. And I know we got some Sacramento people who know you don't walk up to the front. I wasn't even talking to him. He had already been ruled by the Speaker Pro Tem as dilatory. He wasn't allowed to speak on anything else because he was trying to stop the last 100 bills from going through. If he could delay till midnight, 100 bills would have died. One of those bills penalizes the Inglewood oil field and creates a community fund that can only be spent within 2 miles of the field. That's right here. That's a $20 million fund. That was still on the table. He was trying to stop everything in the House, and there's plenty of videos of that. And we'll make sure they get out there, but I've been busy. I was getting married, so I wasn't going to defend myself. If you want to come, you can come. I'm going to take it. I told Marcus this when he was up there. I signed up for this. I signed up for this. There was a day when I used to be banging on the doors, too. I remember yelling at Mayor Garcetti in 2020 in Fame. I remember being out here with all of you many, many times over on many, many issues. But I signed up to be inside out. But I never forgot. When the stuff happened, I started trying to whip my colleagues. I started trying to whip my colleagues. No, I will never second Bill O'Saley on anything, by the way. Never ever. And if you want to second Bill O'Saley on something, I encourage you to look up this man's background. For us, you had to have the majority of the caucus in the play. Otherwise, it was only going to fracture us more. So I told Senator Bradford and I told community the second fracture started that we have to whip 7. There's 12 members of the caucus. You got to whip 7. We could not get to 7. So the choices for me were either roll all of my caucus mates who I have to build with next year and stand with the most racist person in the assembly who's trying to use this to wedge our community.
Don't gaslight us.
Look them up. Or,
all right, one mic, y'all. Please. Hold on.
Or encourage solidarity. Encourage solidarity amongst my colleagues, encouraging growth and learning from my colleagues, and encourage solidarity with community.
because we fractured from the start this year. And we can't come back next year fractured, not the members of the caucus and not the caucus as an entity in the community. We've got to tighten it up.
So what we're going to do is we're going to let Isaac finish. Then we're going to have the individuals who were up there that more so witness what actually happened to maybe raise some questions with Isaac. Then we'll open it up for community. But again, shouting out and going back and forth, that's not going to work because we are not going to be able to hear everything. So we're going to let Isaac finish first. Then we're going to get to organizers who are up there.
First of all, everybody who came up, whether we get along or not, whether you've been shooting the last few days or not, we are all needed in this work. And I'm glad you were there, and we need more people there next year. We need more people during more of the process, because the best thing that happened, even if it's at the caucus's expense, is that California sees Black power. California has seen Black power for the first time in a long time in Sacramento. Sacramento doesn't respect Black folks the way the city of Los Angeles has had to. So thank you to the folks who did that trip. Thank you to the folks who made it your first time and you came up. We're going to keep doing this work. We have to keep doing this work. The last thing that I will say is the second there was a problem, I called my own emergency Zoom and said the same message. We have to whip the caucus. We have to get 7 members. We have to get 7 members. I suggested Steve should apologize to folks. Whatever it takes to get 7, we have to get 7. So whoever's got a personal thing, I said, look, put it aside. We have to get 7. I tried to whip people with just, this ain't our problem, put it on the governor's desk anyway. I tried whatever I could. I could not get to 7. We could not get to 7. And I was, and I, we would never do it. Also, I got you. So, I'm going to close it up right now by telling y'all a couple key things. I will never not show up. I will never not show up here. And the only reason, by the way, I'm in any of the pictures is because I went to the gate. I didn't hide from folks. I got off the elevator and I went to the gate because I'm never going to leave Miss Jan or anybody else billion on the other side of the gate without at least acknowledging you're here and trying to tell you what I think we can do. We've got a lot of work to do. We've waited a long time for this. We've made major progress. We have a lot more we've got to do, and we have to just keep pushing. But next year, at the start of the legislative cycle, we have to do it together. It's got to be together.
Hold on, y'all.
All right, look, we have at least an hour left, so we are going to get to everybody's questions, so don't nobody get too anxious. We'll let everybody questions. We're going to start with our brother Marcus with CJ, and then again, we're going to let all the organizers up here, whether you want to respond to what Isaac just said or share what you saw up there. Brother Marcus with CJ.
Order. Come on, y'all. Come on, please.
So,
Quiet, please.
So I want to ask everybody a question real quick. So, is reparations the most important legislation for our people in the history of the country? Yes. Okay, so I want everybody to realize something. Everybody heard Assemblymember Bryan just say that they asked Senator Bradford to apologize, right? So essentially, y'all just heard. So he asked him to apologize. So what is being admitted right here, which is what we've known for over a year, because we've been talking to these folks, that they let their personal beef and grudges with Senator Bradford stop the most important legislation in the history of our country. So I want to tell y'all something else. Because it's a whole lot that happened that day. It's a whole lot that's happened across this past year. What y'all saw in that video was actually the second time that Assembly got up. So I'm gonna lay out the whole scenario for y'all. So what Assemblymember Bryan just said is that he was trying to whip the caucus to bring the votes. So he couldn't get the caucus to bring the bill up. So Assembly went up. That was the second time. The first time he went up, he made a motion for AB 1331 to be heard. He did not get a second. So what happened was, Assemblymember Bryan, if you couldn't bypass the caucus, if they wouldn't bring it, that was your chance to second the motion. It doesn't matter who does our shit for us. It just matters. Nah, I ain't saying that. It just matters that the legislation goes through. I don't care if some Republicans trying to clout chase off the moment if reparation goes through. So that's what happened. The second time when y'all see him up there, what actually happened is that the Assembly, by way of the CLBC, violated Assembly rules and put both Bradford's bills to the inactive status. And so what Assembly was actually trying to do, Assembly actually came out, showed us the Assembly rule book where they violated protocol. So what Assembly was trying to do right there was to appeal the motion to bring the bills back off the inactive file. And that's what you saw in that video right there. So all this shit we hearing from the CLBC, we know it actually went down. We've been meeting with every single one of the CLBC members for the past year. And since Bradford gutted and amended his bill last August, the first thing that came out of all their mouths is Bradford didn't do this the right way. That's why if you go on the California Legislative website right now and bring up SB 1403, you'll see the bill was introduced because the video cut off before it showed it. SB 1403 was introduced in February. The California Legislative Black Caucus didn't sign on as co-authors until May. Either way, their press release said they weren't able to participate in the legislative process. How are you not able to participate in the legislative process for a bill that was written last August, that was introduced in February, that you signed on as co-authors for in its final form in May? We tired of this shit.
Hey everybody, my name is Tiffany Quarles. I'm with the Lineage Equity and Advancement Project. I'm a native of South LA. This is my community. I got involved with this 5 years ago because I love Black Americans. I love my community. I've seen the suffering. Go outside. Our people are on the streets. Go to Skid Row. I don't care if you had a beef with Bradford. Right. Black people in LA and California are suffering. And they couldn't even think about us to do this, the right thing. Like, how many times have we been told that reparations are impossible? How many times we've heard it's never going to happen? Well, we got to the first yard line, and it wasn't white people, it wasn't Latinos, it wasn't Asians, it was our own people who did the wrong line. I don't want to hear any excuses about what Bradford did or didn't. You should have represented your constituents.
That's right.
The reality is, Black Californians, we don't have anyone representing us right now. Just because somebody's Black, we have nobody in Sacramento, not in the Assembly, not in the Senate, representing our interests. And that showed clearly, even though we knew it all along, we had it now in 4K. And they can't even, apologize to us and tell us that they'll try better next year. I don't care if Governor Newsom threatened to veto the bill. Your job is to get the bills on the desk, and we will be able to do something when it's time. And now look, the whole nation has been watching. I went to the UN in Geneva in April, and people in Africa, people in the Caribbean are watching us. We were giving people hope. Black people need hope. And I just can't even believe that, our own people sold us out. I feel like this is one of the biggest betrayals we have faced as a people. And so the next question is, where do we go from here? Can we vote them out? That's right. We vote you out because if you're not representing us, then what is the point?
What's the point?
When's the last time y'all seen legislation written for us? Never. And here we are in California, and the first time we've seen this in our lifetime, and our own people sold us out. So I'm here today. I'm angry. My heart is heavy, but I'm not discouraged. I'm going to keep fighting. Like I said, we got this far because of faith. Like I was mobbed, told it would never happen, and we got it to the finish line, and we coming back, and we're going to get this done for our people.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, what Tiffany and Marcus said. I am Friday Jones. My name is Consa Jones Muhammad. I wear a lot of hats. I'm the president of the National Assembly of American Slavery Descendants. I'm the vice chair of the Los Angeles Reparations Advisory Commission. I am one of the founding members of the Coalition for a Just and Equitable California. And what I will say, for me, and I've learned to not put my heart on my sleeve. So my heart is in good health and I'm ready to go. Chair Lori Wilson came out. You and Chair Wilson are the only two CLBC members who came out. And what she said was, we will work on this next year. This happens to bills all the time. She reduced two of the most historic bills in our nation since 1865 and the ending of the Civil War. And she made it the equivalent of, are we gonna pave the 118 going to Bakersfield or something random that does not have historical context and significance. She played it short, and for that, it's unforgivable. She's got to go. And she's in Northern Cali, but you represent us here. You are my assembly member. Senator Lola Smallwood Cuevas is my senator. And from the rumblings that we heard, it seems to me that the decision was made prior to Saturday. There was conversations being had about funding going to a fund. I'm not going to name any names, but she is behind it. And the fact that it would be conceptually okay for Black organizations to essentially eat for the next year when they have stopped this reparations movement on a national scale is an abomination. And like Tiffany said, it is not anyone else, it is our own people. And we deserve better representation than that. And so look, we've been doing a unity thing on the national tour. The reparations movement itself has different ideologies. However, the people that have been in this the longest are my parents' age, my mother's age, my father's age. They grew up in segregation. I give them grace because they came up in. I'm Black and I'm proud. I understand their dedication to all Black people. But like Tiffany said, the two opposing all Black people, the lineage reparationists, we're all in Switzerland. And the reality is, around the world, people are looking at us. Yes. It is not just the United States and municipalities like the city of Los Angeles trying to figure out now what I'm going to do as a commissioner. It is people in foreign countries where they don't dominate, in South American countries where they don't dominate, and they're flipping through the recommendations that came from that California task force, and now what are they supposed to do? You all have, again, reduced that bill as if we're trying to see how many bottle caps are we doing plastic bags this year. It's not that kind of bill, and y'all missed like a paramount moment in time where all of the universe lines up to make it happen, and there's no guarantee we're gonna have it again. So that's what I have to say on the issue. You can follow NAASD.org and sign up for our newsletter because we are unifying and we're growing for the national movement. We have our organizations here that are doing the local work, and you gotta tap in. And like Jan said, if y'all leaving, fill out them pages hanging on the back wall. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, one of the biggest slaps in the face was that 3 days before this bill was killed, another bill was approved giving loans of $150,000 to people that just now coming to this country. And we're seeing all across the country that there are similar programs being put out to accommodate folks who are coming from other areas where also our tax dollars are being used to create wars that are forcing those people over here. So we, the Africatown Coalition, back in February, we weren't pleased when we heard the bills from the beginning. Because it didn't sound like reparations, it sounded like a new welfare program. You know, the right to wear our hair when we go work for Master and all this old crazy crap. Even apology, some of y'all want an apology, some of us don't give a damn about an apology. Because that don't get us off the streets, that don't pay our mortgage, that don't pay our rent, that don't help give us businesses. So we heard one of the individuals who stood from the beginning against any real type of monetary reparation, any type of land, was Reggie Jones Sawyer. And we heard he was trying to come to the 10th district during the primaries. So we did our best to make sure he couldn't come over here to the 10th district. And he actually ended up coming in last place. So that's part of the power that we have when these individuals think they're going to be career politicians while doing this dirty. We actually have a power to bring all that to an end. So that's one of the things we're looking at today. What exactly are we going to do about the 10 who didn't step up for us?
Gotta go.
Can y'all remind me what's the prompt? We just telling our story or what? Okay. All right. Hey everybody. My name is Jan Williams. I'm one of the organizers with Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. I've been plugged in doing work with BLM/L.A. For about 10 years now, and I've been plugged in with these fine people, these brilliant folks organizing the work for reparations throughout the state. So without these folks, I want y'all to understand, without these folks that are sitting here and our other folks that are up north, our folks that showed up, most of these people, we would not have this fucking bill if these folks did not come together, put their differences aside, stay focused on the work, and advance reparations for us here in California. This is what we did as regular community activists, not as elected officials who are elected to represent our community. We did this because our ancestors called us to do this work. Our ancestors called us to bring humanity and dignity to all the sacrifice. They have been sacrificed. They didn't choose to make that sacrifice. This fucking system sacrificed our ancestors. And we are here to say no more. No more. You will honor us and you will cut us our motherfucking checks. Not just for slavery, but for it started history. Ever in history. Thank these people that are sitting up here. Y'all stand up. Marcus Champion and his wife, they got kids. Marcus on Zoom 12 hours a day. Not for his job, for us. Y'all don't even know this man. And y'all, even though y'all showed up to complain about what did not happen, y'all gotta make sure you're not just showing up to complain. Show up to put in some work, because we can't keep doing this by ourselves. This is not just throughout the state of California. This shit is federal. We gotta win it first here, because I care about my family in Louisiana. I care about my family in Georgia. I care about my family in New York and everywhere else where people are being disenfranchised. I care about my brothers in prison, dying in squalor. We had a brother that was killed by bed bugs in prison. How did he suffer? Death by bed bugs. Death by bed bugs. You hear me? Are you fucking enraged? Sister, where's the president of the Enraged Black Committee? I know she's here because I saw you. There she is. Come here, Miss Robbie. That's the president of the Enraged Black people right there. Miss Robbie, if you are not fucking enraged, something is wrong with your soul, because we cannot become desensitized to seeing the suffering of our people. The auntie of Dijon Kazee, let me tell you about this motherfucking Congressional Black Caucus. Y'all shouldn't have gave me this fucking mic. Y'all shouldn't have gave me this mic. Sister Jamie Kazee, stand up. Her nephew, Dijon Kazee, was murdered by police and by L.A. County Sheriff's Department. And he was riding a bike in peace. Sheriffs came to disrupt his peace while he was riding his bike. August 31st, 2020. August 31st, 2020. Let me tell you, Black lives. Let me tell you, on a bicycle. I'm gonna come up in here and stand with me. Huh? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just tell y'all about this Congressional Black Caucus. And Mike Gibson, the night her nephew, was murdered by the sheriffs in L.A. County in his district. That same night, Mike Gibson did the same bullshit that they did last week to the police decertification bill. The same fucking night that they let the police decertification bill die, Mike Gibson, his district, Dijon Kazee, is murdered by sheriffs. We got a lot to fight for, y'all. It's not gonna stop. Do not leave here without making sure you are plugged in, because guess what? I'm calling you. And I want to make sure you're angry. And not just angry, but that you're ready to put that anger to work. Because it's going to take us to do the work. Ain't nobody going to do this shit for us. Y'all see, they have a practice of skipping over us and using us as welcome mats while they come in and get, and eat. Okay, I'm going to shut up.
All right. Woo! Say it loud. All right.
You cannot hear me if you are talking. We are speaking important information to you. You must listen, please. Thank you. My name is Sharice. Okay? I'm not with any organization. I feel like I birthed SB 1403. Okay? I was the one who provided the legal framework for it, what it's supposed to look like, and Reggie Jones Sawyer is my representative. I voted for him. And for over 2 years, his office refused to meet with me. But I want to thank Tiffany for bringing me into the reparations movement, because I have been advocating for the reestablishment of the Freedmen's Bureau at the federal level for over 4 years. Okay? That is where some of this information or bills came from about SB 1403. Again, I provided the legal
sent a letter to POTUS and FLOTUS, and I laid out, by the way, I'm a lawyer, had the bar in 3 states, 2 at the same time, so I don't want you to think I'm just, somebody that's some crazy person, okay? I've been practicing for almost 20 years, right? Graduate of UC Berkeley, of this state, and Howard University School of Law, okay? So I'm not a just crazy person coming up here. God gave me that information, right? It was him that birthed that in me, and you guys blew it. Y'all blew it. That's why you saw me be so passionate, and people have misinterpreted what I said. Oh, see, she said we should stop Kamala from becoming president. That's not what I said. I'm a strategist. I'm an organizer. I know how people think, and folks are gonna see Democrats, black Democrats, blocking reparations, and they're gonna blame the rest of the Democratic Party, okay? People have asked me to speak about reparations and what the legal framework is, and people are pissed off about lineage. The reason we had to do it because we had to convince Republicans that we would give reparations to someone. You gotta start somewhere. We have to be methodical about this. We have to do things decent and in order. And there's a difference between cash, reparations, and policy. And what we saw in that bill, the task force report, was mostly policy for all black people. So anybody who's here, I know there's some ops here. Let me tell you, you messed it up not just for yourselves, you messed it up for the whole world. I have people calling me all the time. I provided public testimony. I don't get paid for this. God has given me the money and blessed me with the money to travel and to testify, and thank God for Zoom. But you didn't just mess this up for California. You messed this up for everyone. But guess what? We're down. It may look like we're down, but we're not out. Because this is going to push things at the federal level. I'm sending another letter to the White House again. I want the Freedmen's Bureau reestablished by executive order. President Biden, you can do it. I already sent you and FLOTUS the letter. You can do it by executive order because the Freedmen's Bureau was under the Department of Defense, which is in the executive branch. You don't need to go through Congress or the Senate. As a matter of fact, you guys might be able to call another session. Newsom can write it by executive order. We have an Office of Tribal Affairs under the governor's office. He don't need no vote. He can write it by executive order. So y'all might want to call an emergency session this week. Okay? When you go talk about that gas, go talk about these reparations, you got $12 million set aside. Not to give to that nonprofit because that's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. You got $12 million, and it's not going to ban prison. It's not trying to get those bills through, and they were blocked. And some people don't like to hear the truth. The Republican who is anti-reparations brought our most important reparations bills up because we serve a just God. And God was with us that night. And everybody saw that the black Democrats in the state of California did not want black people to get reparations. We had to go through a white Republican who is against reparations. Shame on you. Shame on you. So some of us may have left there feeling defeated. We were there, Camila and I were there until after midnight. And I know how I feel, what I want to do next. We need to do things decent and in order. This is the last thing I'm going to say. The narrative that is coming out now is that the supporters of reparations in the state of California have doxed Assemblymember Lori Wilson and that we are calling her B-word on social media. I don't even get down like that. I don't get down, and I don't know anybody else up here who gets down like that. I want that, excuse me, Mr. Bryan, I would like that narrative done that we are doxing anyone or we calling anyone names. That is not how we roll. We do things decent and in order. We may be passionate, but we do not commit any illegal acts. I'm so sorry. Nope, that's it.
All right, so we're gonna give Brian a couple minutes to respond, Isaac a couple minutes to respond, then we're gonna get to everybody else's questions. So
all right.
Let's let Isaac give Isaac a couple minutes to respond.
So no, advocacy is not violence just because it's black people. So I agree. I absolutely agree. The second y'all showed up to the gate, while I was out there with you, is the first time I've ever heard the pro tem talk about violating the laws and arrest. And I went straight to the speaker and I said, if the cops show up at that gate, I'm also going right back out there. We don't arrest protesters just because they're black. So you're right. Your organizing is righteous. I will defend that and protect that, even if it's coming at me. Keep pushing.
All right, so I've been seeing people put their hands up all night.
Representative Assemblymember Bryan, I wasn't here, so I'm not sure if anyone asked you this question. Why? Can you explain the video where you were caught on tape physically blocking the Republican? Hold on, I'm not done with the question. And then the video, he kept saying, bring it up, bring it up. And you said, I've supported Bradford's bills the entire legislative session. So my question is, what changed? If you voted for Bradford's bills the entire legislative session, what changed?
The first thing is I wasn't going to fracture us any further. The caucus is not in a place to continue to be split up any further, or we get nowhere. We get at it, and I recognize that. And that's a very valid feeling. I got no problems with anybody who's angry, even if you're angry at me. I made the strategic decision with my colleagues that if we could not get a majority of the caucus and I couldn't change those minds, I could not roll the rest of them who are going to be up there for the next several years. And it was killing me that day. It was killing me. And that's what, hold on.
Everybody's about to get an opportunity to speak. Let Isaac finish, then we're coming. I see y'all were the first two. I'm coming to y'all next. Yeah. I've been watching hands. So let Isaac wrap up, then we're going to get the people.
Yeah. The last thing I will say about the process of it is I did not block Philip from doing anything. He provided you that video, and then he walked out and explained to you what happened on that video with an intentional framing on purpose. He had already been ruled by the House Chamber, I said this earlier, for trying to stall so the last 100 bills couldn't get heard at all. He was banging on his desk, not for reparations, because he does this on a regular basis. I was standing in front of him because I had just tried to calm him down because he had just gotten into a fight with another person. There's a much longer video. my back was to him, and he gaslighted me because he knew I was struggling with the fact that I couldn't get my colleagues collectively and need to move in the direction that I thought made sense.
Okay.
So I've been watching these two sisters right here with their hands up first. We're gonna go there. No, this sister was next, and we got here, and we're gonna make our way around. So let's start with the lady right here to your right there.
All right, here we go. Hey, hold it down, please. Hold it down, please.
Can you guys hear me? My name is Connie.
Quiet.
That mic's not picking up.
Good evening. My name is Connie Collins, and people have said a lot of things I wanted to say. I don't think that
Everybody quiet. If you gotta talk, please step outside. Please step outside.
Excuse me, people came here to hear the information. Disrupting this meeting is not allowing that to happen. So again, if you need to talk, we need you to step outside. You can go talk, cuss, fuss, do all that right outside the door.
Okay, good evening. My name is Connie Collins. A lot of people have said what I wanted to say, but I'm going to say this to Isaac. With all due disrespect, you've done yourself a disservice. You've done the Democrats a disservice. Because the way that you're addressing us is pure just political foolery. Sir, so having said that, in the spirit of Martin Luther King, how long must we wait? How long must we wait? Now, I'm going to say something that may not be that popular. There's a lot of Pan-Africans here, but I'm going to clear up a problem that we're having. When I say we, I'm talking about the American descendants of chattel slavery. When I say we, I'm talking about freedmen. I'm talking about the people that have experienced the harm here in the United States. To the Pan-Africanists, please hear me in this moment. It is not divisive for Black Americans to self-identify and to stop being confused with every melanated person around the world. It is not divisive. It is not xenophobic to say that we are our own people, that we have our own culture, that we've been through atrocities and harms that no one else in this country, whites, everybody here is an immigrant but us. Now let's keep in mind, before I move on, why is it that we have CARICOM who fights for Caribbeans? The African Union has joined with them, and yet no one calls them divisive or xenophobic. We have a right to have our debt paid for all of the atrocities that have taken place since slavery, peonage, convict leasing, redlining, Jim Crow, medical experience, medical experiments, land theft, lynchings, and so forth. So now I'm going to wrap because I know it's hot. A lot of people want to go, but I do want to say this. I think, and I don't know where Isaac went, but to the Democrats, this was a purposeful sabotage. I think it was Marcus said they had more than 6 months to bring an amendment to this bill. They scheduled this for a vote when? The last two days of the session. Why? So they could tell us, oh, we couldn't make it work. Why didn't Stephen Bradford second the motion? Pardon me? Okay. Thank you. He said he wants me to wrap up in 2 seconds, but I'm going to say this. In Los Angeles, we've lost half of the Black American population. Right now, 60% of the homeless are our people. Of that, almost 75% are our men. Every time I drive around Los Angeles, I'm seeing a new Latino business pop up. This is our time, and for Isaac, wherever you are, this is
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Looks like most people here want to say something, but again, we can't speak 5 minutes each, 10 minutes each. If you can keep it to about 2 minutes or less.
My name is Carolyn Essex. I ran the state assembly, I tried to run the state assembly, and I needed more support. I will run again in 2026, okay? We need our people inside of the assembly. And I just want to say something from my heart. Isaac, I'm talking to you, Mr. Bryan. Sir, you need to hear this. From my heart. From my heart. We are not stupid people. We saw what happened. We saw that you didn't fight for us, and I know you. You fought for our time done brothers and sisters. All of us are none of brothers and sisters, brought bills to the floor, passed them all session long for them, black and brown people. And so it hurts. It hurts, man. And you need to sit down and be humble. You're not even being humble with us. You need to apologize for not banging on the desk like that white man did. We needed Dr. Umar up in there. We needed that spirit to come out of you. You did not meet the moment. And how sad. We should be celebrating right now. We should be celebrating right now, but we're not. Once again, they're asking us to wait till next year, and the last thing we'll say, we are not the Clippers. We're not waiting till next year. I don't need a mic because I have a teacher's voice. And the only thing I need to know is because I'm about a specific person. Because I get on the phone and I call, and all I've heard is fractions. What does that mean? Who are we specifically talking about in the caucus so that I can make a phone call and specifically talk to them to figure out what their issue is? I have not heard issue, I've heard fractions. What's the issue? Why not? The point, the facts. That's what we need so that we can make phone calls and speak to them directly. I have not heard one fact tonight that I can make a phone call. So I'm not going to take up no more time if somebody's willing to step to the side and talk to me because I'm about changing business. I'm not about nothing else. Right.
Quiet. Can you hear me? I'm Morris Griffin, better known as Big Money Griff, strong community activist, leader, and problem solver at the age of 74. I have fought in our community for years when we had Daryl Gates. And we had the long handle metal flashlights that beat us. But now I'm here on reparations. Emeritus Diane Watson, would you please read what's on your shirt with the mic? Damn right. I have an attitude. My people worked 400 years without taking. So what I want to say to you all, it's about money. M-O-N-E-Y. And so I'm the only one in the country that's talking about reparations and stimulus money. Reparations as stimulus money. Isaac Bryan, I need you to go back and spread the word, what you heard. Isaac Bryan, Isaac.
25 million.
Isaac.
Price just went up.
Isaac Bryan. Yo, Isaac. Spread the word, what you heard. Stimulus money and reparations goes hand in hand. Why do we say that? Because everybody knows that we pay taxes. Okay? We all pay taxes. So when we hear the white boys say, I don't want to give my money, we pay taxes for clothing, for food, for gasoline, for everything. Amen. We go nowhere. They're in the airports, they're in everything.
10 seconds.
And now what we're talking about is how the undocumented immigrants come to America and they're getting hotels, motels, Holiday Inn, and then on top of that,
Over by the door. Can y'all take that outside, please? Over by the door where Isaac is at. If you want to talk to Isaac, please step outside and have that conversation. Isaac, can y'all have that conversation outside the door for us? All right, thank you.
they go into hotels. Undocumented immigrants, they go into hotels, motels.
Excuse me, we got that speaker right here.
When? He's gonna go after me. He's gonna go after me. So, what I'm saying to you all is that reparations and stimulus money goes hand in hand, and I need you to spread the word what you heard. Because that's what Isaac should be bringing. And there's so much more. So much more. So much more.
My name is Steve. I'm 69 years old. Born and raised in Watts, Los Angeles, California. I was officially black enough in 1965. What I mean by that is after the uprising in 1965 in Watts, I learned that my nappy hair wasn't bad. My liver lips wasn't bad. That my big nose wasn't bad. At that time, the Black Panther Party moved in on 103rd. When we used to pass by as young men, they used to say, come here, brother, let me talk to you. And I learned a lot. I learned from the Nation of Islam, back then called the Black Muslims, who moved on 107th and Juniper, and set up a mosque right there. And they would say, hey, brother, come here, let me talk to you. I learned from the sons of Watts. I learned that it wasn't about always complaining. I learned that the major thing was solutions. And as I got involved with some organizations like the Congress of Racial Equality, poor organizations, as I got involved with Brotherhood Crusade, as I campaigned for Latasha Hartley at the Congress Court, I put down footballs, y'all. I circulated petitions with Stevie Wonder and getting Martin Luther King birthday or national holiday. My point is this. I see more people here right now than when I used to go out handfuls of us. This place should be packed to the streets, but this is all the time. It's a mindset thing. It's a mindset thing. To use a biblical, just a little bit. Stop talking problem, problem, problem. Fix your mind to solution, solution, solution. It'll work.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Solutions. Thank you for saying that. My name is Dr. Truth Bay, formerly Mellow Desires. I am born here, for those who may say, oh, you're Haitian. No, I'm actually born here, descendant of slave. So we're talking about solutions. You've got to be politically knowledgeable. That is not an option, or else they're going to continue to do a drive-by on us on every little thing. We all saw what happened. It doesn't make sense to have an excuse to say, oh, well, legislators are there to pass bills. They are not there to socialize. Even if Gavin Newsom wants to veto their job, they can override that, right? So this is the California Legislative Black Caucus members. Laurie P. Wilson is up for election, and Akilah Weber. And it breaks my heart because Akilah Weber is the daughter of the Queen of Reparations, Dr. Shirley Weber. So I'm very disappointed to see not one of them pass this bill on the floor. Stephen Bradford, as we said before, he's running for Lieutenant Governor in 2026. I think he needs to run for governor in 2025. That's real talk. I really do think we need somebody different. Dr. Corey Jackson, Kevin McCartney. Tina McKenna is up for election. Kevin McCartney, he said that he's black, but hey, we don't question that. Mia Bonta, Christopher Holden. Yeah, he's termed out. And Reginald Jones Sawyer is actually termed out as well. The point is, family, when you go home, fill your brains with political knowledge. Our children deserve it. Our children deserve it. You don't have to like the messenger, but the message is the same. Please study politics and study the law. You are the president. Write down your election on there. Write it in. Write it in the ballot. 5 seconds. Write in your name for legislation. We don't have to continue on with the same Democratic plantation. Let's leave it. Black power.
All right, family, again, with people up here talking, please take the conversations outside. You disrupt it from everybody else being able to hear. Also, if you have not signed in, please make sure you sign in. That way we can have your information to keep you updated as other meetings and other actions come up.
I'm James Thomas, and what I want to say is that what you need to know is that there was a city-based study. This sister knows about it. We talked about it. There was a city-based study that was done that said that the United States has lost $16 trillion because it discriminates against black people. Now, the reason that that is important, over the last 20 years, from the year 2000 to the year 2020, $16 trillion has not gone to the GDP. What we need to demand, when they say that they don't have the money, they have the money. All they have to do is stop discriminating against us in housing, business loans, higher education, and income inequity. That's all, those 4 areas. And so at the end of the day, if you want to know what $16 trillion, I did the math. In terms of what they owe us $360 trillion for over 400 years of enslavement and subjugation. That's what they owe us. And I don't know about you, but I don't have a bill collector that will say I don't have to pay because I can't afford it. And so what I will say is this. The last thing that I want to say is this. There's an article. I got it on I had the professor text it to me because I want to get it to you. What he talks about in the article is that black elected officials are dismissive of black demands. Dismissive of black demands. They come here and tell us about what everybody else outside of our community is doing. You remember when the mayor did that? She came in and was talking about Studio City and what Studio City wants and what Sherman Oaks wants. They did not vote for her. She didn't win the election in Nevada. But everybody here voted for her. And so at the end of the day, in my opinion, they all need to go. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. Because you, and I want to end with this. 10 seconds, I want to end with this. My grandfather was lynched. I got a little emotional because I never knew my grandfather. I'm not talking about my great-great-great-great-great. I'm talking about my grandfather. I never knew him because he was lynched. Because in Mississippi, they said, ain't no nigga gonna drive a new car before we did. And so I just want to say, thank you. I just want to say, keep up the fight. Accept that we have white supremacists and blackface and deal with them accordingly.
All right, so we still have some questions that need answers. Just to give a quick summary, again, Senator Stephen Bradford's 2 bills were killed by the California Legislative Black Caucus. One of them would have created a reparations fund, and the other would have created an agency. Bradford had gone to the press and said a certain budget committee allocated $12 million for Bradford's bills. So that begs the question, if Bradford's bills are now killed, where is that $12 million going to go? Now, organizers have met with some Black Caucus members, have done some investigations, to inquire where that $12 million may go. Went to Senator Lola Smallwood Cuevas, and there are rumors that she plans to put a budget request in for $6 million to go to her friends at the California Black Freedom Fund, which is a conglomerate of Black nonprofit foundations and organizations that do so-called race equity work. Now we have someone here that is a representative of one of the organizations or is a member of one of the organizations within the California Black Freedom Fund. That's Christian Flag of the California Black Power Network. He's sitting back there with the dreads. Now, you said that I can ask you a question.
You stealing our money?
We want to know what you know. We want to know, can you verify whether the California Black Power, or the California Black Caucus, and the California Black Freedom Fund have plans to use that $12 million to distribute among organizations within the Black Freedom Fund, including yours, the California Black Power Network?
You stealing money?
Greetings, family. How y'all doing? First of all, I'm going to introduce myself. First of all, my name is Christian Flag, born and raised right here in South Central LA. Alumni, Crenshaw High School, class of 07. Played on the football team. It was the first class in many years to win a city championship at that football at Crenshaw. Similarly, I've been coming to Leimert Park. I've been here in Leimert Park since I was a baby, for generations, since Fifth Street Dix was over here, since the World Stage was over here. So my blood and tears is right here, number one, okay? Number two, I am the director of training at Community Coalition. Community Coalition is an organization that's been pushing and fighting for Black and brown people in South Central LA for over 30 years. And I've been leading our education work that has brought the Black Student Achievement Plan to LAUSD. I work very closely with Jan Williams, with Joseph Williams, with folks at ACLU SoCal. We fought tooth and nail and have won $125 million for Black students to get the resources they deserve. And as a matter of fact, LAUSD is trying to undercut that. They're trying to take race out of Black student achievement. And you know what I've been spending my hours doing? Fighting with these folks, making sure they put race back in there. So that's who I am, number one. Number two, let's get to it. So COCO, Community Coalition, is a part of the California Black Power Network. Whatever fund you're talking about, I don't know. So you need to clarify and get to it. So I don't know what you're talking about, but I am a part of the California Black Power Network. That is a collection of 39 Black-led and Black-serving organizations all across California that fight for Black people all across California, doing the similar work that we do. Black Women for Wellness in LA is a part of the California Black Power Network, right? It's the LA Black Worker Center is a part of the California Black Power Network, who fight tooth and nail for stuff for Black people. So the funding that you talk about, sister, I don't know. I'm not a part of it. I know the work that we do. The work that we do, we distinguish. We are very clear. The work that we do, the Black Student Achievement Plan, is not reparations, but we fight for reparations. I made public comment for reparations when they was here science. So I want to be clear who I am, the work that I do. If you're interested in pushing more for Black student education, I got you. If you want to connect around the work that we're doing in LAUSD to make sure our babies is getting the resources they need, we get teachers in there, we sending them to HBCU tours, we can do that. Aside from that, I'm here to be in community because I know we need to fight for reparations, and I needed to come see it for myself and hear what's been going on. So I'm hearing it just like y'all. Appreciate
Prop 209, the 14th Amendment, they know that. They still keep trying to make it based on being black. We've always said it should be based on being a descendant of U.S. chattel slavery. That is the legal advice we have gotten from Dean Erwin Chemerinsky. That is the legal advice we've gotten from many other esteemed scholars. And when they found that out, they still keep trying to sabotage this, and it's disgusting. 90% of black people in California will qualify, but y'all keep still trying to make this about all black people. And while it might seem like it's a good intention, it's really just trying to stop us from getting reparations. It's about grant money for some of them. Right. So I just need to put that out there publicly. We need y'all to stop fighting against us. Work with us. Because we love black folks all over the world. We're not against anybody, but we need to make sure that this is done right so the descendants can get what they are owed. So I'm putting this out there. The California Black Power Network. Let's work with CJ. Stop fighting against us. Stop obstructing the work. Thank you.
Greetings, family. My name is TJ Lofton. It's okay if I want to give y'all a little bit about my background. I come from the lowrider